Introduction. In the realm of relationships, emotional intelligence and self-discipline are key traits that set truly wise men apart. Rooted in the principles of Stoicism, a philosophy emphasizing rational thinking, self-control, and virtue, smart men understand that certain behaviors can undermine both their own well-being and their relationships with women. By avoiding impulsive actions, emotional reactivity, and unhealthy attachments, they cultivate stronger, more meaningful connections. In this guide, we'll explore 9 things that smart men should not do with women, drawing insights from Stoic wisdom. Whether in dating, friendships, or long-term relationships, these principles serve as a foundation for maintaining respect, integrity, and emotional balance. Learning to manage emotional outbursts, losing control of emotions can be overwhelming and even damaging, both personally and in relationships. When emotions spiral out of control, they cloud judgment, leading to actions and words that may later cause regret. Learning to manage emotions effectively is essential for personal growth, maintaining healthy connections, and making rational decisions. Recognizing emotional triggers is the first step in gaining control. When anger, frustration, or sadness begins to rise, taking deep breaths, pausing before reacting, and stepping away from the situation can help prevent an outburst. Practicing self-awareness allows individuals to identify what fuels their emotions and address issues calmly rather than letting them explode uncontrollably. Communication also plays a crucial role in emotional regulation. Expressing feelings in a constructive manner, using I statements rather than blame, fosters understanding rather than conflict. Additionally, developing coping strategies such as mindfulness, journaling, or engaging in physical activities can help release built-up emotions in a healthy way. It's important to remember that emotions are natural, but how they are expressed makes all the difference. Instead of letting emotions control actions, individuals should aim to acknowledge and process their feelings with maturity. Learning emotional self-control not only reduces stress, but also strengthens relationships and improves overall well-being. In moments of intense emotion, the key is to pause, reflect, and choose responses wisely rather than reacting impulsively. With practice and patience, anyone can master their emotions and respond to situations with clarity and composure. Lesson on seeking validation or approval. Seeking validation or approval is a natural human tendency, but relying too much on external affirmation can be harmful. When people constantly seek approval from others, they allow external opinions to dictate their self-worth. This behavior can lead to anxiety, low self-esteem, and an inability to make independent decisions. While validation can provide temporary reassurance, true confidence comes from within. Instead of depending on others' approval, individuals should focus on self-acceptance and personal growth. Developing a strong sense of self allows one to make choices based on personal values rather than the expectations of others. Learning to trust oneself is a crucial skill that fosters resilience and emotional stability. A balanced approach involves valuing constructive feedback while not letting criticism or praise define one's identity. People who are secure in themselves understand that validation is not a necessity, but an occasional reassurance. By shifting the focus from seeking approval to building self-confidence, individuals can cultivate inner peace and authenticity. They become more self-sufficient and make decisions that align with their true desires rather than conforming to societal pressures. One way to overcome the need for validation is to practice self-reflection and affirmations, recognizing personal achievements without external acknowledgement. Surrounding oneself with supportive people who encourage independence can also be helpful. Ultimately, self-worth should come from within, not from the fleeting opinions of others. When individuals embrace their uniqueness and trust their own judgment, they gain freedom from the endless cycle of seeking validation. Chase. Instead of attract, many people fall into the trap of chasing things, success, relationships, happiness, believing that relentless pursuit is the only way to obtain them. However, this often leads to frustration, exhaustion, and a sense of never being enough. When you chase something, you give it power over you, making it seem as though it is always just out of reach. Instead, the key is to shift your focus from chasing to attracting. Attraction comes from becoming the kind of person who naturally draws in what they desire. This means developing confidence, skills, and a strong sense of self-worth. Instead of chasing validation, become someone who radiates value, and validation will come naturally. Instead of desperately pursuing love, focus on becoming the best version of yourself, and the right people will gravitate toward you. This mindset applies to all areas of life, whether it's career growth, personal development, or relationships. Attraction is built on authenticity, abundance, and self-improvement, while chasing is rooted in scarcity and fear. By constantly chasing, you communicate a sense of lack, but when you embody what you seek, it comes to you effortlessly. The most successful individuals understand that opportunities and people are drawn to those who know their worth and act with purpose. Shift your energy from pursuit to cultivation. Grow into the person who naturally attracts what they desire. When you stop chasing and start attracting, life begins to flow in your favor. Compromise. Their principles. Compromising one's principles is a slippery slope that often begins with small concessions but can lead to significant moral dilemmas. At first, it may seem like a necessary choice, perhaps to avoid conflict, gain favor, or achieve a personal or professional goal. However, each time an individual bends their values, it weakens their integrity and sense of self. Principles serve as a moral compass, guiding decisions and shaping character. When these principles are sacrificed for convenience or short-term gain, it can create internal conflict, guilt, and even regret. Over time, one might justify actions that once seemed unthinkable, blurring the line between right and wrong. Additionally, compromising values can affect relationships as trust is often built on consistency and ethical behavior. Others may lose respect for someone who easily abandons their beliefs when faced with pressure. True strength lies in standing firm even when it's difficult. While flexibility is important in certain situations, it should never come at the cost of core values. Instead of compromising principles, individuals should seek solutions that uphold integrity while still addressing challenges. This might mean making tough decisions, speaking out against wrongdoing, or taking a longer, more difficult path. In the end, staying true to one's principles fosters self-respect, credibility, and a life lived with purpose. The cost of integrity is far less than the price of losing oneself in the pursuit of temporary success or approval. Overinvesting emotionally too soon. Emotional investment is natural in relationships, but diving in too quickly can lead to heartache and disappointment. When you become overly attached before truly understanding a person or situation, you risk creating unrealistic expectations. This can lead to feelings of betrayal or loss when the other person does not reciprocate at the same intensity. Overinvesting too soon often comes from a desire for deep connection, but it can cloud judgment, making it harder to see red flags or recognize incompatibilities. It may also pressure the other person, causing them to withdraw rather than engage further. Healthy relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or professional, thrive on balance and gradual emotional development. It's essential to give connections the space to grow naturally instead of forcing intimacy prematurely. Learning emotional patience allows for clearer thinking, better decision-making, and stronger, more sustainable bonds. Instead of rushing, take time to observe, communicate, and understand the person's true intentions and character. Protecting your emotional well-being means recognizing that true connection is built over time, not in a single moment of intense emotion. If you find yourself overinvesting, step back and assess whether your emotions align with reality. Ask yourself if the other person has earned the level of emotional energy you're giving. This self-awareness prevents unnecessary pain and ensures that when you do invest deeply, it's in a relationship that is truly worth it. Learning to pace your emotions is a crucial skill for maintaining both emotional stability and meaningful connections. React impulsively to tests and drama. Reacting impulsively to tests and drama often leads to regret, misunderstandings, and unnecessary conflict. When faced with a stressful test or an emotional situation, our instincts push us to act immediately without thinking things through. This impulsive behavior can manifest in snapping at others, making reckless decisions, or panicking under pressure. For example, a student who rushes through an exam without carefully reading the questions might make simple mistakes, costing them valuable points. Similarly, someone who reacts emotionally to drama, whether in friendships, relationships, or social conflicts, may say things they don't truly mean, damaging their reputation or hurting those they care about. The key to overcoming impulsivity is self-awareness and emotional regulation. Taking a moment to breathe before responding allows us to assess the situation rationally rather than being controlled by temporary emotions. Practicing mindfulness, journaling thoughts before acting, or even counting to 10 before reacting can help develop emotional intelligence. Additionally, understanding triggers, whether it's stress, pressure, or insecurity, can aid in recognizing when we are about to act on impulse. Instead of letting emotions dictate our responses, we can train ourselves to pause, reflect, and choose a more thoughtful course of action. Developing this skill not only improves decision-making, but also strengthens relationships and enhances personal growth. Over time, reacting with patience rather than impulsivity leads to better outcomes, deeper connections, and greater self-control in high-pressure situations. Letting go of grudges and moving forward. Holding grudges or dwelling on the past can feel like self-protection, but in reality, it's a burden that weighs heavily on the heart and mind. When we cling to resentment, we allow past pain to dictate our present emotions and future decisions. This keeps us trapped in a cycle of anger, bitterness, and regret, preventing us from experiencing true peace and happiness. Carrying a grudge does not punish the person who wronged us. Instead, it poisons our own well-being. Forgiveness is not about excusing harmful actions or forgetting past hurts. It's about freeing ourselves from their control. Letting go of resentment allows us to reclaim our energy and focus on the present, rather than being stuck in old wounds. Reflection is valuable, but dwelling on past mistakes or grievances without seeking resolution only deepens our suffering. Instead, we must learn from these experiences, set healthy boundaries, and move forward with wisdom and grace. Choosing to release negative emotions is a sign of strength, not weakness. It allows us to foster healthier relationships and a more positive mindset. Life is too short to be burdened by past wrongs. By embracing forgiveness and shifting our focus toward growth, we create space for healing and new opportunities. The past cannot be changed, but how we respond to it determines our future. Letting go is not just an act of kindness toward others, it is a gift of peace to ourselves. The danger of making a woman the center of your universe. While love and devotion are beautiful aspects of a relationship, making a woman the absolute center of your universe can lead to imbalance, dependence, and even resentment. A healthy relationship thrives when both individuals maintain their own identities, ambitions, and personal growth. When a man revolves his entire existence around one person, he risks losing himself in the process. His happiness becomes entirely dependent on her mood, attention, or validation, which can create an unhealthy dynamic. Women are naturally drawn to confidence, purpose, and emotional stability, qualities that diminish when a man sacrifices everything for the sake of a relationship. Instead of making her the sole priority, a man should focus on becoming the best version of himself. Personal goals, friendships, hobbies, and self-improvement should remain integral parts of his life. When a man is fulfilled on his own, he brings value to the relationship rather than seeking constant reassurance. A woman wants to feel loved and cherished, but not suffocated or burdened with the responsibility of being someone's entire world. True connection comes from mutual respect, space to grow, and shared experiences, not from dependency. A strong man who has his own passions and dreams is far more attractive than one who abandons his sense of self for love. Ultimately, the healthiest relationships come from two complete individuals choosing to walk life's journey together, rather than one person orbiting the other as if they are the only source of light.